Let us see allowances and perquisites. What are these allowances? Okay. See, a company or an organization provides some fixed monetary amount in addition to the basic or DA salary. See, for example, a company provides HRA. What is HRA? House rent allowance. Okay. So the house rent allowance provided by the company is is monetary in nature, and that appears in the salary slip. See, all these usually all the allowances are completely taxable, but there are certain conditions for that. The allowances we are going to classify to three things. The first one there is fully taxable cash allowances, partially exempt cash allowances, and fully exempt cash allowances. These are the three categories of allowances that we have. We have fully taxable, partially exempt, or fully exempt cash allowances. So we consider allowances this way. See, which are the fully taxable allowances? Which are the fully taxable cash allowances? The DA, the dearness allowance or dearness pay that is received, city compensatory allowance, tiffin or lunch allowance, non-practicing allowance, this is for the doctors, deputation allowance, overtime allowance, servant allowance, all these allowances are fully taxable. They are 100% taxable. There is no exemption on these things. There are certain allowances which are partially exempted. For example, your HRA is there, house rent allowance is there. Not the 100% that you receive is exempted, but a part of it is exempted, HRA. And then we have entertainment allowance. It is applicable only for the government employees. Again, there are certain conditions to avail it. And there are special allowances are there, like traveling allowances there, daily allowances there. So this TADA we call, when a person goes for official duty outside, so he is given TA and DA. So TADA, these are again exempted to the extent of the actual expenditure. Similarly, conveyance allowance. Conveyance allowance is when you are traveling from, say, within the city, let us say, okay, when you go for outside duty somewhere, from the lodge, you want to go to the place of work. So you may use a cab, you may use a rickshaw. So for that, you will incur some expenditure. So that expenditure is called as conveyance allowance. And then uniform allowance. People in the factory, okay, or people in the security services, so they need uniform to be wear by them on a daily basis. So when they get their uniform stitched, okay, the extent of actual expenditure they incur there is now fully exempt. Okay, so these are some special allowances for meeting official expenditure. So these are allowed to the extent of the actual expenditure. Okay, and then there are special allowances are there, like for example, the children's education allowance, children's hostel allowance, transport allowance, running allowance. What is this children education allowance? This children education allowance is exempt to the extent of rupees 100 per month per child for maximum of 2 children. Okay. Children's hostel allowance. When an employee, he has put his children in a hostel to study. So there, per child, an allowance of 300 per month is exempt. Similarly, transport allowance earlier to 2018, 1600 per month was allowed for everybody, but the latest budget has got some amendments. It is now allowed only for the disabled people. This is not there for everybody. Transport allowance is not there for everybody. It is only for the disabled people to the extent of 1600 per month. And the running allowance, so those people who are in the transport sector, so they will be, for example, a person who is working in KSRTC, or he's working in railways or in airlines. So these people will be moving from one place to another place. So they'll be incurring some expenses when they working on duty. Okay, to cover that, there is this running allowance or out of station allowance. So this is exempt up to 70% of such allowance, or rupees 10,000 per month, whichever is less. So these are the special allowances, okay, which are partly exempted, and there are fully exempted allowances are there. So these allowances, when they are received by an employee, they are 100% exempt, in the sense there is no tax on these allowances. For example, foreign allowance, allowance to High Court judges and Supreme Court judges, allowances from UNO organizations to its employees. So these people get this allowances 100% exempt. Okay. So after having seen these things, now let us go to one problem on HRA. Okay. So HRA is very important because every other company, most of the companies give this HRA. And how do we find out the exemption with respect to HRA? Okay. Let us see this problem on HRA, okay, house rent allowance, because it is partly exempted. It is not 100% exempted, it is partly exempted. So what is the exemption when it comes to HRA? HRA stands for house rent allowance. Okay, HRA stands for house rent allowance. See, it is considered the minimum of the following three is considered to find the exemption. Minimum of the following three. Which are the three we have to consider? One is house rent allowance actually received by the assessee. Okay. So whatever HRA that is given by the company or actually received by the assessee, that we have to consider. And then excess rent paid by the assessee over 10% of salary due to him. So this is nothing but we have to find out the actual rent paid for the entire year minus 10% of salary we have to do here. Okay, we'll see how do we calculate this. And third thing is, if a person is staying in metros like Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi or Chennai, 50% of salary we have to consider, or in any other place other than this metro, we have to consider 40% of salary. Okay. So 40% of salary is exempt. So we have to calculate these three, and out of these three, whichever is minimum, that much is allowed as exempted HRA. Okay. And for all these calculations here, we are coming across something called as salary, 10% of salary, 50% of salary, 40% of salary. This salary includes what? That we have to see here. So this salary here includes basic salary, as you see here, plus a DA, okay, forming DA. I keep telling about this forming DA. What part of the DA is considered for retirement benefits? That we have to consider here. DA we have to consider here. And finally, commission the employee receives based on fixed percentage of turnover achieved by him. Okay, if it is given, we have to consider that also for calculating salary. Okay, so these three things we have to consider to find this salary, which is used in calculating this excess rent paid. Okay, and 50%, 40%, whatever it is. Okay, 10%, 50%, 40%, whatever it is. Okay, so here the salary means basic plus forming DA plus commission, if it is in terms of percentage of turnover. Okay, so now let us go to Now let us see the problem now. Okay, illustration 6. Am I audible to all of you? I have enabled only few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, it's audible.
Yes, sir. It's audible.
Okay then. Okay. Good. See, now read this problem, illustration number 6. Okay. It reads like this. Illustration 6. Mr. Ashwin is entitled to a basic salary of rupees 5,000 per month. Okay. And dearness allowance of rupees 1,000 per month, which is 40% of which forms part of retirement benefits. In the sense, you can see here, this DA is not 100% forming, it is only 40% forming. Okay. And the third line, he is also entitled to HRA of rupees 2,000 per month. So this HRA of 2,000 per month is what he gets from his employer, the actual HRA received by him. He actually pays rupees 2,000 per month as rent for a house in Delhi. Okay. So this person now, Ashwin, he stays in Delhi, which is a metro city, and for the rent where he is, for the accommodation where he is staying, he is paying rupees 2,000 per month as the rent he is paying. Compute the taxable HRA. Okay. So what we shall do is, I will take this problem to let us see how do we solve this in a Excel sheet. Let me take it to an Excel sheet. Okay, let us see now. The same problem I have taken on an Excel sheet. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, whenever you go for solving these kind of problems on, whenever you write also in the exam, okay, you make something like this. You write particulars, then you write here rupees, and one more rupees. Okay, I will tell you what are these, and let us create a small table. So if you see this problem now, what is the actual HRA received by him? Okay. Let us say HRA received. Okay, HR received is how much? It is nothing but, so he is receiving 2,000 per month, and this is for one entire year we have to consider. So 2,000 into 12. Okay, so this is what he actually receives. How much is that? This is equal to 2,000 into 12. Okay, how much is that? It is equal to 24,000. Okay, So he has received 2,000 rupees per month, and for 12 months it becomes 24,000. So now we have to find out exemption. Okay, exemption is least of the following. Least of the following. Okay, so which things we have to consider here now? Okay, the first one we have to consider is, for example, A is the actual HRA received. Okay, actual HRA received. You have seen that how much he has received. It is 24,000. 24,000 is what he has received. And second one we have to consider is in excess of 10% of salary. How much it is? So that becomes rent paid minus 10% of salary. Okay. So rent paid minus 10% of salary. So now here, what is the salary here? Okay, what is salary here? That we have to check. See now salary. Okay, just take it on the side here. Salary is equal to, okay, as you saw in the earlier this one, now I told you that it is nothing but basic plus forming DA plus commission. Okay, these three things. See now basic they have given how much it is. Basic salary is 5,000 rupees per month. So salary will be equal to, it will be equal to salary is equal to, okay, basic they have given there. Basic is how much? 5,000 rupees per month. Salary, basic salary given is 5,000 rupees per month. So this becomes 5,000 plus forming DA. Okay, this is important here. It is told that the DA received is 1,000 rupees, but only 40% of it is forming for retirement benefits. So we have to consider 40% of DA. Okay, so 40% of 1,000 rupees we have to consider here. We have to consider 40% of 1,000 rupees. Okay, so we have to consider 40% of 1,000 rupees because they have mentioned here it is 40% forming. Sometimes they mention here 100% forming. Sometimes they mention here 0% forming. If it is 0% forming, then we should not consider DA. If they say 100%, we have to consider the entire 1,000 rupees. If they mention only 40%, we have to consider only 40% for our consideration. And then, so see here, they have not mentioned any commission there. So let us leave commission. Okay. So this becomes again equal to, when we calculate this, this becomes equal to what? 5,000 plus 40% of 1,000. Okay. So 5,000 plus 40% of 1,000. So this is for 1 month. Okay. We have to consider it for the entire year. Okay. So this is nothing but the monthly salary. We are this is monthly salary. So this becomes equal to 5,000 plus 40% of 1,000 becomes 5,400. Okay, this becomes 5,400. So 5,400 is the monthly salary. Okay. So now for our consideration here, we have to consider salary for the entire year. Salary. Okay. So it becomes equal to 12 into 5,400. Okay. So that will be equal to, okay, what is the total salary received in a given year now? 12 into 5,400. Okay. So 12 into 5,400. So this is 12 into 5,400. Okay, that will be equal to how much? 64,800. Okay, so for our calculation here now, rent paid minus 10% of salary. Okay, so what is rent paid per month? He is paying 2,000 rupees, and for the entire year, rent paid per year is equal to, okay, 12 into per month it is 2,000 rupees, 2,000. So that will be equal to how much? Okay. 12 into 2,000, 24,000. Okay. So this is the rent paid. Okay. So now for the B part here, rent paid minus 10% of salary. Okay. So here rent paid is how much? 24,000. 24,000 minus 10%. Okay. 10% of salary is 64,800. So this will be equal to 24,000 minus 10% of 64,800. Okay, so 24,000 minus, so this is 24,000 minus 10% of 64 is, it is 6480. Okay, this will be equal to, so this will be equal to how much? 24,000 minus 6480. Okay, this is the second one. How much is this? This will be equal to 24,000 minus 6,480. Okay, it is 17,520. Okay, and third thing we have to consider is, see, we have to check now where he is staying. Is he staying in a metro city like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, or Chennai? Okay, whether he is staying in a metro city like these four places, or he is staying in any other place outside. Supposing if he is staying in a metro city, we have to consider here, okay, 50% of salary we have to consider if he is staying in metro cities. In all the other cities, it becomes 40% of, okay, 40% of salary. 40% of salary we have to consider. Okay, when we are considering 40% of salary, he is staying in non-metro. Okay. If he is, sorry, he is staying in a Delhi here now, so we have 50%. Okay, so he is staying in metro city. Okay, you see here why I consider 50% here, because he is staying in a metro city, that is Delhi. Okay, see, 50% of salary. Okay, salary we have calculated 64,800 per year, so 50% of that. Okay, so this will be equal to 50% of 64,800. Okay, so 50% of 64,800. Okay, so this will be equal to how much? Half of 64,800, that becomes 32,400. 32,400. Okay, see now, out of these three things, whichever is minimum, okay, whichever is minimum, that we have to consider as exemption. Okay, so So as you see now here, okay, there are three figures, 24,000 that he has actually received. Okay. He has received 2,000 per month here as HRA. So into 12, if you do, that becomes 24,400. And then rent paid, actual rent paid minus 10% of salary, that is 24,000 is the rent paid, because he pays 2,000 per month as rent also here. Okay, so 24,000 minus 10% of 64,800 is so much. And then the third one you have to consider is 50% of salary. Okay, because he's staying in a metro city like Delhi, it is 50% of salary. Okay, so that is 32,400. So out of these three, which is minimum now? Minimum. Okay. So minimum is exempt. Okay. So now, out of these three, the minimum is 17,520. Okay. So 17,520 is the exempt. Okay. Exempted. Okay. So exemption is 17,520. So now, so they are asking what is the compute the taxable HRA. Okay. So taxable HRA is 24,000 minus 17,520. Let me just make this a small one. So the taxable HRA is equal to, okay, so 24,000 minus 17,520. Okay, how much is that? So that is equal to 24,000 minus 17,520. Okay, so 6,480 rupees is the taxable HRA, and the exemption he got is 17,520. Okay. So this is how we have to solve this. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Is it clearly visible, like whatever I written here? Is the font size okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is how, okay, this is the working that we have done. Working, okay, I have done here on the top. How we have calculated
Working.
salary. Okay, working is on the top here. Okay, this side, whatever written here is working, and whatever I done here. Okay, this is the usual format that is used to calculate taxable HRA. Okay, so take 1 minute and just see if you have got any doubts. You can just let me know. If everything is okay, I will proceed further. The next question. Okay, then this is how we have to calculate the taxable HRA. So supposing the same problem now, has it said that the house is in, let us say, Dharwad. Okay, what would have done? Let us say
40%.
yeah, you have to take 40% instead of 50%. That is the only change that is there. Very good. Okay. So I hope everything is going fine. Okay, let me go to the next problem now. So the same thing I have given here actually, but it is not in, no, you can use, okay, that's what I have done there. Just for a change, I went in for an Excel sheet and I showed you how to actually do it. Okay, the answer is anyways in the, this one there, but then you have to follow the one that I showed in the Excel sheet for actual calculation. Okay, so moving further now, let us go next to another allowance called as entertainment allowance. Okay, so entertainment allowance is the next allowance that we are going to deal with. This is allowed only for government employees, and this is provided in the section 16 subsection 2. Okay. As I told you, this entertainment allowance is exempted only for, that to partially exempted only for the government employees. If it is given to non-government employees, it is 100% taxable. Okay, and supposing if it is given to a government employee, how do we find the exemption? There are three things you have to consider, and you have to consider the minimum of the three. Okay, the first one, there is actual entertainment allowance received. There is a statutory limit of 5,000 rupees per year, and then 20% of the basic salary. Okay, so these three things are there. So whichever is minimum out of these three, that will be considered for exemption. Okay, let us take one problem now. Illustration 7 here. Okay, just read this. Okay, let us see now how do we solve this in Excel sheet. See, it is mentioned here, Mr. Sushil is a government employee. Okay, he is a government employee. First thing, he draws a monthly salary of rupees 20,000. See, here they are not mentioned whether this 20,000 is basic, DE, or whatever it is. So we have to just consider, if something is not given, but consider this entire rupees 20,000 as the basic salary itself. Okay, and then he is receiving rupees 500 per month as entertainment allowance. Find out the amount of deduction for the entertainment allowance. Okay. So first thing we have to check whether he is a government employee or not. Since he is a government employee, there is some deduction possible. If he is not government employee, then there is no deduction. Zero deduction will be there. It will become 100% taxable. Okay. Since he is a government employee, we can proceed with calculating the deduction. Okay, the first thing is the actual entertainment allowance received. Okay, so that is equal to per month he is receiving 500 rupees per month, and for 12 months. Okay, so it becomes 500 into 12. Okay, that will be equal to 6,000 rupees. Okay, this is what he has received. Now let us find out exemption. Exemption is least of the following. So which is the first one we have to consider? The first one is the actual entertainment allowance received. Okay, how much is that? We already done that, 6,000 rupees. And second one is rupees 5,000. Okay, or this is the statutory limit or the government limit. Okay, that is equal to 5,000 rupees per year. And third one is 20% of basic salary. Okay, so here since they have given, okay, so now let us see here salary, okay, is equal to basic salary. So salary is equal to how much now? So he receives 20,000 per month as salary. Okay, so salary for the entire year will be 12 into 20,000. Okay, so salary will be equal to 20 into 20, 12. Okay, it is 2,40,000. Okay, 2,40,000 is the salary now. Okay, so we have to find 20% of this. Okay, so 20% of 2,40,000 is equal to, okay, that comes to 12,000. It comes to 0.2 into 2,40,000. 48,000. Okay, so 20% of basic salary. So 20% of 2,40,000 is 48,000. Okay, so out of this minimum, okay, you can see minimum is 5,000 rupees. This is the statutory limit, that is minimum. Okay, so 20% of 2,40,000 is 48,000. So minimum is exempted as deduction. Okay, so minimum is how much now? It is 5,000 rupees.
5,000.
5,000 is what is minimum. Okay. So now the exempted, okay, amount of deduction for the entertainment allowance is how much now? They only asked so much. They asked here, find out the amount of deduction for the entertainment allowance. So the amount of deduction is only so much. So the answer is 5,000.
5,000.
Okay. But they're not asked what is the taxable entertainment allowance. They asked you only how much is the deduction permissible on this entertainment allowance. That we have calculated as now it is equal to 5,000 rupees. Okay. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it looks like this. So today we have covered two allowances. The first one was HRA, house rent allowance. The second thing that we covered is the entertainment allowance. In case of HR, we saw that minimum of the three things that are to be considered. One is the actual HRA received, the rent paid minus 10% of salary, or 40% of salary or 50% of salary, whichever is applicable. Out of the three things you have to consider whichever is minimum. That is for HRA. And when it comes to entertainment allowance, we have got it only for government employees. The same entertainment allowance is given to a private or any non-government organization employee. It is 100% taxable. Only for government employees, this calculation we are supposed to do to find the exempted deduction. Otherwise, it is not permitted for other organization employees. Okay. So these two things are for the, as far as allowances are concerned. Let us see next now. What are, we have seen two types of allowances. One is the HRA, other was the entertainment allowance. Okay. As we move further, see in any salary structure, if you see, there are things like the basic salary, dearness allowance, then see all these dearness allowance, HRA, as the very word indicates, they are allowances. Okay. Along with allowances which are given in the form of monetary benefits, in the sense they are given as cash. They are appeared in the salary slip. Okay. Allowances appear in the salary slip. But there are certain other benefits that are given by the employer to the employee, which are in kind. Okay. They are not in the form of cash, but they are in the kind of kind. Okay. So they are called as perquisites. In short, they are called as perks. Okay. If you see allowances and perks. So what are these perks? So for example, now HRA, house rent allowance. Okay. It's the same thing. Let us say there is an employer, and instead of giving HRA in the salary, what he says is there is a house belonging to the employer. You go and stay in that. Okay. So what is this again now? The employer, instead of giving HRA in the form of cash, he says that I have got a house owned by me. You stay in that. In the sense, he is giving a rent-free accommodation. Okay. Rent-free accommodation. So when he gives a rent-free accommodation, it is not in the form of cash. but now this will qualify as a perquisite because it is a casual emolument or benefit given to an employee. Okay. If something is not given in the form of cash, in the form of allowance, it doesn't mean to say that there is no tax on that. Supposing a company gives accommodation, a quarters, let us say, okay, or if a company gives, let us say, a peon or a gardener for work, for working in your garden or whatever, okay, the salary of the gardener or the peon is paid by whom? Employer. But then where he is working, this gardener, he is working in the house of the employee. Okay. In this case, provision of gardener or provision of a servant to the employee becomes a perk, okay, perquisite. So when these perks are given to employees, they are equally considered for taxation purpose. Maybe they are not coming in the salary slip as allowances, but if they are given by the employer to the employee, they become perquisites. Okay. So perquisites are, what are perquisites? Perquisites are, you see here, perquisites are defined as any casual emolument or benefit. Okay. So when they say benefit or emolument, they are usually not in the form of cash. They are non-cash or non-monetary in nature. If something is monetary in nature, that comes under allowances. If it is not in monetary in nature, it becomes a perquisite. You can see here for a perquisite, the first one here, value of rent-free accommodation provided. Okay, so this is taxable. Value of concessional rent of accommodation. Let us say the employer says, I got a house, you come and stay in that. The actual rent would have been 10,000 rupees per month, but I will give you a concession of, okay, let us say you just pay me a nominal rent of 500 rupees per month. Okay, the 10,000 rupees worth rent house he is giving to the employee for only 500 rupees per month. Okay, so this becomes concession. Okay, concession in the matter of rent. Okay, house given the form of concessional nature. Okay. Any sum paid to the employer towards any obligation of the employee. See, the obligation is employees. Let us say when he keeps a servant, okay, when he wants a servant in his house or a gardener in his house to work for his garden, the salary for the gardener or the servant should have been paid by the employee. Okay, this was the obligation of the employee, but this obligation of the employee is what? It is taken over by the employer. Okay, so any sum paid by the employer towards any obligation of the employee, it becomes a perquisite and it is taxable. Okay, or any other fringe benefit given to employees. Okay, fringe benefits could be the tiffin provided, tea provided, okay, or lunch provided if it is less than rupees 50 rupees, or whatever other benefits, okay, which are non-monetary in nature. If they are provided by the employer, they become perquisites and they are taxable. Okay. So moving further now, there are certain perquisites which are taxable in case of all employees. Okay. For example, rent-free house, okay, house provided for concession rent, okay, obligation, okay, fringe benefits, whatever is out on the top here. So these things are taxable in case of all employees. There are certain perks which are free for all employees. Okay. There are certain perks which are tax free for all the employees. Let us see some of them. As I said, okay, the medical facilities. Okay, if the employer is owning a medical facility and he provides it to the employee, then okay, it becomes medical facility. Tea or snacks, free meals, okay, insurance payment, okay, employees provident fund, Insurance is accidental insurance. Okay, it is not the life insurance of the employee, it is the accidental insurance. Okay, group insurance scheme, leave travel concession. Okay, and then supposing if the employer gives a computer or laptop, okay, to work in the office, interest free or concessional loan up to rupees 20,000, traveling facility provided for the employees of railways or airlines, okay, or tax on perks paid by employer, for example. So this is just a small list here, just for example. So these are tax free for all employees. Okay. So some of them are taxable, some of them are tax free. Okay. Are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
We have seen allowances and perks. Okay, allowances are monetary or they are given as cash. They appear usually in the salary slip, but perquisites are in kind or they are not given as cash. Facility is provided to the employee, but then the payment of that is made by the employer. Okay, for example, car is there, servant is there, house is there, concessional rental, okay, house is there. For example, these are all perks. Let us take one problem on, okay, the perquisites accommodation provided by employer. Okay, so in this case, the accommodation is provided by employer. See, when the accommodation is provided by the employer, how do we find out what amount should be considered for tax purpose? Okay, the valuation of accommodation, how do we do? Okay, valuation of the free accommodation provided by the employer to the employee, how we should consider. That is the point here. There are certain guidelines for that. So one is, okay, if the accommodation is provided by the employer and if it is owned by the employer, okay, if the accommodation facility is owned by employer, okay, then we have to consider these three things, which are those: whether the accommodation facility is in a city having population of more than 25 lakhs, or if it is between 10 to 25 lakhs, or less than, okay, 10 lakhs. What is this 25 lakhs, 10 lakhs? These are the population. Okay. Supposing in metro cities which have got more than 25 lakhs population, 15% of salary, okay, minus the rent actually paid by employee, we have to consider. Supposing the city population is 10 to 25 lakhs, okay, if it is between 10 to 25 lakhs, then you have to take 10% of salary minus actual rent place. Okay, if the population of the city is less than 10 lakhs, okay, if it is less than 10 lakhs, you have to take 7.5% of salary minus the rent actually paid by employee. Okay. So 15%, 10%, or 7.5%. In the problem, they will mention what type of city or what is the population of the city where the accommodation is provided will be given. Okay. So if it is about 25 lakhs city, population city, 15% of salary less the actual rent. If the city is 10 lakhs to 25 lakhs population, 10% of salary, and all the other places which are less than 10 lakhs population, it is 7.5%. Okay. So this is when the accommodation is owned by employer. Okay. Suppose the accommodation is not owned by employer, but he has taken it on lease or rent. Okay. The employer has taken the facility, house facility, on the lease or rent. Okay. Then it is 15% of salary. Okay. 15% of salary we have to consider and minus the rent. Okay. If supposing he is given accommodation in a hotel, okay, if it is in a hotel, 24% of salary paid or payable. Okay. Please, Chandi. If the accommodation is given in a hotel, it becomes 24% of salary paid or payable minus the whatever he has paid. Okay. So these three things we have to consider when an employee is given accommodation, free accommodation by the employer. Okay. Free accommodation is provided by the employer, then we have to consider these three things. Okay. Let us take a very simple problem. Illustration number 8. Read this. Illustration number 8. Mr. Sajad is now working in a private company at Chennai. Okay. Chennai is a metropolitan city which has got more than 25 lakhs population. Okay, Chennai. So all the metro cities, they come under the top bracket. Okay. He gets a monthly salary of 9,000 rupees. They're not mentioned what either it is basic or DA or whatever it is. Okay, they've simply given 9,000 rupees. He is provided with a rent-free accommodation which is unfurnished. The sense in the house there are no furniture available. Okay, it is an unfurnished accommodation for which he pays a monthly rent of rupees 300. In the sense, it is provided at a concession. Okay, he is giving only 300 rupees per month rent in Chennai city. You can see that. Okay, calculate taxable perquisite. Okay, what is the taxable perk we have to calculate? See now, as you see here on the top here, either facility is in a population of more than 25 lakhs city, 15% of salary we have to consider. Okay, but consider how much? 15% of salary you have to consider if it is 25 lakhs and above. Okay. And one more thing we have to see when we calculate salary for this perks here. Okay, in this case, when it comes to salary, okay, what is salary here? 15% of salary. Actually, it is the basic salary plus all the cash allowances, all the allowances which are paid in the form of cash. When it comes to DA, we have to see whether it is a forming DA or not. If it is a forming DA, then only we have to consider it under salary. If it is not forming DA, we should not consider it under salary. Okay. So most of the times DA is not considered to calculate salary for perks. Okay. Let us see now how do we do this. Now is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now it is.
Now it's visible.
Oh, okay. Probably I had not shared it with him. Now it is visible.
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir.
15% of 1,08,000. Okay, 1,08,000. 9,000 into 12, 1,08,000. Okay, so that comes to 1,08,000 into 0.15. Less is equal to this. So taxable perquisite is 12,000. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
This is how we have to solve problems related to perks where residence is provided at a concessional rate. Okay. If you observe this problem here, so hope it is clear. Now you are able to see this properly, I feel.
Sir.
Is everything
Yes, sir.
visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. You see it once again. So they are asking you
Yeah,
to
sir.
calculate taxable perquisite, and we have calculated taxable perquisite, and this perquisite is related to the accommodation given at a concessional rate of rent, which is only 300 rupees in Chennai. Okay. See, the point to be noted here is where is the location? Chennai, 25 lakhs and above population, so we are taking 15%. Supposing if the company is in, let us say, a place where the population is between 10 to 25 lakhs, how much we should take here in terms of 15%? In place of 15%, we will do this as 10%. Okay. If it is less than 10 lakh population city, then we have to consider here 7.5%. Okay.
Right.
Chennai, more than 25 lakhs population, this is 15%. This one 15, more than 25 lakhs. The population is between 10 to 25 lakhs. This is 10%. If it is less than 10 lakhs population, then we have to consider 7.5% of salary. As I said here, salary here includes basic salary, DA if it is forming, Otherwise, DA will be not used. And all the cash allowances paid in the form of cash, they form a part of salary. Okay. Usually allowances do not form a part of salary in case of retirement benefits, but only here in case of perks. You have to consider all the allowances which are paid in cash. Okay, this is an exclusion here. This is a special case. Okay, all these perks are special cases wherein we calculate salary that way. But in this problem, they are not given anything. They are simply said salary is 9,000 rupees. They consider salary as 9,000 rupees here. Okay. So this is all about we have seen today house rent allowance. We have seen today what else? Entertainment allowance. Okay, we have seen house rent allowance. We have seen entertainment allowance. We have seen perks. Okay, which is provided as a accommodation with a concessional rent. Okay. So let us stop with these three things today. Tomorrow we'll